Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Samantha the Card Girl here, back with video number 2 as promised, and a glass of wine this time. So this video I want to do a VR to Geek Girl Tarot, and it's 20 questions. So let's see, your first question is, what was your first tarot deck? And that it's actually this cute little box that I don't have it anymore. But it just said tarot on it, and the images, they were black cards, and each of the suits had different color borders and just very minimalistic images. But my first of course I get a notification, sorry, my first deck I got when I was 18 or 19, and I didn't actually stick with it, didn't really learn how to use it until maybe 3 years ago, I would say. So that was my first deck. My second question is, what made you stick with tarot? So again, I didn't stick with it the whole time. I came back to it because about a year or so after I became interested in tarot, my mother was diagnosed with cancer, you know, and then I had college and just life happened, and I did not make tarot part of that life until recently. So what is making me stick with it this time is that I really put the time and energy into learning the tarot and understanding the cards and learning the meanings, and I love it. I love it very much. How often do I read tarot? Let's see, if I were to base it off weekly, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Not often. I don't read every day. I'm horrible with daily draws. I'm horrible with tracking what my readings are about, what they say for me personally. I, in my mind, think I would like to do it more, but I don't ever make the effort to do it more. So let's see, 4, do you read for yourself? Yes, I do. Always on point. I love it. I may have to get the bug spray. Darn it. Number 5, do you read reversals? No, I don't. Generally, I shuffle my cards so that they are all upright. You can see, probably not. This is Shadowscapes Tarot, one of my favorites, beautiful artwork. Now what's interesting is, even though I do my very best to make sure that they are all upright, occasionally a reversed will sneak into the reading, but it's funny because it's always accurate. So again, I really don't think I'm the one putting it upside down for the reading. It's just a helping hand from my guides. So I think that's amusing. Let's see, number 6. What is your least favorite card? What are your least favorite cards? Generally, it's any of the not the majors, the court cards. So your pages, knights, queens, kings. In some decks, it is daughter, son, mother, father. And that's just because they are, for some reason, harder for me to grasp. Not as much with the page and the knight, but the king and queen, because they're not, most decks they're featured sitting, and it's hard for me to draw from that. They're not action, they're not doing something to help me pull information from them. So I do get stuck a lot of times with their meanings. What are my favorite cards? Really, my one all-time favorite is the Tower. And I don't know if I can find it in here, but the Tower is all about destruction and change. Yeah, here it is. Drastic. Sorry. Drastic change. So here you see this beautiful tree, and it's being struck by lightning and set on fire. So it's change that you don't see coming. It's change that's going to shake you up. It's probably going to be something that's difficult, a difficult change, but it's necessary. It's a change that had to happen for whatever reason. even if you don't understand it. And I'm all for change. I love it. I embrace it. And I think that's why it's my favorite card. Number 8, what's your favorite tarot spread? I actually don't have a favorite tarot spread. I don't do spreads. I did buy rather a book on spreads because I want to learn to incorporate them more in readings that I do for others, because I will do spreads here and there for myself. In fact, my headmistress at the Tarot Academy puts out a full and new moon tarot spread every month, and I actually have one to do tonight. My handwriting is bad, but anyway, so I laid out how the cards are supposed to be positioned and then what to ask. So I always do those. And 9, how do you care for your tarot decks? So I have a lot of them in their boxes. I feel they're safest there. I have some smaller decks that have come in tins, and I love tins. If I could find normal size tarot decks that either come in tins or that a tin from somewhere else that the cards will fit in, I would grab those in a heartbeat. I do have some in pouches, but I'm finding that they bow quicker because there isn't anything firm to keep them, you know, nice and flat. So I don't really care for the pouch method much. Let's see. What do you get asked the most for readings? Honestly, if I'm reading for others, what I hear most is, I don't really have a question, so just in general, I guess. So I'll say, okay, we'll just focus on what you need to know at the moment. And I love those kind of readings. I love it when they don't tell me what's going on. I love it when we're just throwing the cards out there and they're always on point, and it's really, really cool. I had one in September where a woman didn't tell me a thing from start to finish. She said the reading was spot on, and I still to this day have no clue what. So it's really cool because it gives me not only a little bit of, you know, obviously boosted confidence, but that reassurance that I do a good job reading cards for others. Let's see, what would a deck by you look like? Well, I'm actually working on a fun deck just for myself, an oracle card deck based on cemeteries. So I've visited local cemeteries and taken pictures of gravestones, and I'm pairing meanings to each of the different ones. So I'm excited. That's what it would look like for me. I love cemeteries so much. Weirdly so, I would say. Let's see, what is the weirdest thing you've ever been asked, I think is what that is. I don't really have, no one's ever asked me anything weird. You know, I would say the common one, does the devil, does the death card really mean death? And that's a no. No, it does not. But it's not really weird. I don't really have any weird questions that I've been asked. So the next one is, what's your biggest tarot deck pet peeve? What's my biggest tarot pet peeve? I think that's honestly people outside who don't understand tarot and assume because of what they've read in the Bible or what their church believes that it's evil and that tarot is associated with the devil. They have nothing to do with each other. No, it's not. Learn, you know, before you put your judgment out there and condemn people, do your research, people. You know, that's my biggest pet peeve right there. Oh, do you have any bad tarot habits? I don't think so. I mean, I don't subject my cards to anything harmful. I don't leave them in places they shouldn't. I always wash my hands before using my cards. I don't think so. I don't think so. I would associate, and I'm sorry for people out there who do smoke around their cards, but I would say one bad habit would be smoking while using your cards and letting that smoke just destroy your deck. Another bad habit would be leaving them out and letting the rain get to them, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there are people out there who don't care the condition. They work just fine. Sorry, there's a mosquito on my phone. Yeah, so I'm not sure on that. Let's see. Oh, do you get hate from skeptic religious folk? Not hate. I do have some family that don't agree with what I do, again, because of church beliefs, and who pray for me. Like, I don't need praying people, but thank you. My soul will not be condemned, whatever. But again, it's not, I don't get hatred from it. It's just people worried about me. Do you have any readings you're proud of? Yeah. Again, I would say the readings where my intuition really kicks in and I'm able to channel spirit and I hear messages for people, and it's spot on. Like, one reading I did, a woman wanted to know about her pain, and again, I had never met this woman. It could have been any kind of pain, and I heard loudly fibromyalgia. So I mentioned it and said, "You suffer from fibromyalgia?" And she said, "Yes." I was very surprised. So that was really cool. And then just any readings that I do for myself, honestly, because they're so eerily accurate. Again, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I apologize for the pausing. I'm not sure what's going on, why it keeps freezing. Hopefully it doesn't affect with the video too much. So the next question is, has reading changed your perspective? Yeah. Not so much with, like, stuff going on in my life, but the fact that what the cards can do. You know, going into it, not ever reading tarot years ago, with the perception of, did it really work? You know, they're just cards. Now I'm a firm believer that these cards are amazing. They work every time. They are always spot on, accurate. Even when you ask a question and the reading is not about that, it's always going on in your life. And the idea behind that is the cards don't always tell you what you are asking. They tell you what you need to know at the moment. And I like that too. I think that's really, really cool. Alright, so next. Sorry. Blah. Do you prepare sacred space or ritual space for your readings? Not always. When I'm reading for others, yes, I've got stones and crystals that aid in spirit communication and protection. Like this baby right here, my clear quartz chunk. I love this thing. It was a Christmas gift, sorry, from my brother. And then generally, this is a selenite sphere, and I've brought it out because it's great for moon rituals and moon magic, and it looks like the moon. So yeah, this beautiful piece right here, and incense and candles and sage. But like, if I'm just for this little thing that I'm going to do for myself with Ethany Dawn's tarot spread for the month, for the new moon rather, of the month, I just sit on my couch and lay them out on my table. I don't have anything else with me, but it doesn't affect it. I pull out like the stones and the crystals and the sage and all that other stuff when I'm reading for others, more for the aesthetic purpose, because it adds that level of mystery and magic, and it's fun. It's just fun. So let's see, the next question: how do you feel about the tarot community? I love the tarot community. How can you not? It's a bunch of like-minded people following each other, sharing videos, doing VR tags like the one I'm doing now, lifting each other up, and all about the one common ground. We all have tarot, the love of tarot, I should say, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love the tarot community. Let's see. Oh, do you have any advice for your younger self, I would tell me not to drop tarot. I would tell me to stick with my path. I would say, yes, you're going through a hard time with mom, but this can help you. Yeah. Let's see, there's one more question. Do you have any advice for novices? Yes, don't believe the silly myths. It is not bad luck to buy your own tarot deck, okay? It's not. You do not have to keep your decks wrapped in silk. Don't worry about the book meanings, and don't worry about learning all the cards all at once, because there are 78 cards with multiple meanings to each of them. You know, even the advanced readers are still learning. Every day there's some new aspect. There's so much that goes into cards. You know, it's not just, let's see, let's pick one. The Hermit. Okay. So, when you, once I get this to focus, look at the card, you see a guy, right, walking by himself with a lantern. So this is all about solitude, taking time for yourself, going within, inner reflection. That's just what I see from the picture here. Okay, but there's so much more. Tarot cards have Kabbalah, astrology, I think there's Hinduism, there colors, numbers, all these different aspects are thrown into the cards. I haven't even begun to touch base on those. It's insane the amount of knowledge put in the cards. You can't learn that all like overnight. That's impossible. That would be my advice, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, if you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have not already, subscribe below. Thank you for watching. I do have one more video. Bye.